do you want to do the intro?
Sure. Yeah. Shit. Let's see. Hey, welcome to Piss Pirates. What's the intro? What was the intro you said?
We're not pissed at One Piece, we're pissed at you.
Yeah, we're not pissed at One Piece, we're pissed at you, I guess.
Oh, you're not feeling so pissed?
Today I'm not feeling so pissy, but maybe...
Oh, yeah, you're feeling chill.
I don't know, I'm okay. I did see the fucking spoilers this morning posting on my feed, and I had to scroll past
for like 10:52.
Yeah, I was kind of pissed off.
It's Monday. It's the day after, guys.
Dude, I deleted Twitter off my phone recently just because I hate Twitter most of the time because I only see people like terrible tweets like Evanito tweeting under VTubers and stuff. I don't want to see that, so I just deleted it off my phone. But whenever I use my computer, sometimes I stumble upon it, and it was just full of the shitty spoilers. And I somehow avoided it. I just
you just scroll past like nothing happens.
Yeah.
Unless there's something like massive that happens, which, I mean, there was a thing. I'll be fucking me. It's me, right? I care too much about One Piece at this point. I shouldn't, but you know, seeing the stuff that was happening in 1051 is exciting.
Oh, did you see it already? Shit.
I did.
Fuck. Nah.
So that's exciting.
I was actually spoiled for that. One of my friends texted me one of the panels from it
what the fuck?
before I read it. Like a fucking bit. Like I woke up, I was hungover in the morning. And then I wake up to a text of a spoiler, and I'm like, bitch. Come on, man. Come on.
I can't get no rest. I can't get no peace.
Come on, man. It's my drug. I need my fucking heroin, dude. And then it was just taken away from me, you know?
Well, yeah. It was also just like forced down your throat. Like, I want to take it myself.
Yeah, I want to take my time, please.
If I'm going to take drugs, I don't want it forced.
I want to insert the needle myself, bro. Like,
right. On. It's part of the experience.
True.
There's nuance to this thing.
I don't want that.
We don't actually take drugs.
We don't. Yeah, heroin's bad. I don't know. I've never tried it myself, but I've heard it's pretty bad.
I've never tried it either. God Lord. Hey, speaking of Twitter, I screen capped this. I saw a poll. Someone asking, "What is Oda's greatest strength?"
Oh no. Okay. Was it?
And
what was it?
And so the options were world building, character writing, emotional moments, or plotting.
Plotting.
And so already it's like, I wonder what's missing.
Character building, plotting. I feel like so many of those could be just like combined together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically it's all writing.
It's all writing.
Based on writing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Completely ignoring the fact that Oda is also an artist.
We truly don't even mention the art.
He's also drawing One Piece, guys. Like,
I didn't even think of that.
Right.
Like, it's literally a visual medium, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, literally, it's ridiculous. Man.
That is.
It just goes to show it's similar to with like a lot of shonen, but just like I think a lot of people with fiction maybe where like they really only care about the writing.
Yeah, it's pretty apparent like when you talk to anyone about that sort of thing, because they never really bring up anything outside of the actual core story, like elements and like plot points that occur.
If this was a book, would it even? I actually don't know if One Piece would be as successful if it was a book.
No, it won't. Well, it's like movie, like people like watching things, dude. Like it's it's a totally different medium, and way more people listen and read comics that compared to books a lot of the time, and anime is just like a huge fucking medium now. So it's not even like a fucking competition.
Yeah, like the reason I'm so into anime and not just like, I mean, I love animation, right? I think the logic, I talk about this in other places, but my logic goes like, I really like stories and I really like it in a visual medium.
Yeah.
And animation can do anything, like literally
anything. Yeah.
So animation. So they're thinking, I just love animation. And what country of origin are they doing the most shit with animation? It's Japan. It's not even. It's no contest.
It's just fucking Japan, dude, and they just go hard. Their culture is just so weird that they just pump out the most insane things imaginable. So it
just happened that way.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
Have a lot of people that were really passionate about it, and it just kind of came up that it just happened.
And it's like, that's not to knock like Western cartoons. Like I watch way more Western cartoons just because it's spilling the milk and stuff like that.
good content. It's the kind of audience you guys have cultivated.
But yeah, it's like you can't deny that the pure like creativity and just pushing forward of the medium of animation that anime is just kind of doing.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exploring anything.
All these new concepts and everything, right? Yeah, it's compared to America, where it's the new fucking SpongeBob ripoff number 6055, dude. Like,
right. And I hate to buy into the same typical arguments against Western animation, but the whole thing of how adult animation can only be comedies.
Yeah.
It's like it has to be like a family sitcom, like Simpsons. Because that's all that seems to be remotely successful.
It's like slowly getting pushed in that direction. Like they're slowly opening it up with like BoJack Horseman and like F is for Family, where it's like a dramedy more of like they have dramatic elements, but it's still at its core like a comedy show.
But it's still horseshoed and
yeah, basically, and
baked into it.
And I love comedy, so I can't really like complain most of the time, but I'd like some more artsy fartsy bullshit in my American cartoons.
I was just thinking how perhaps one reason that's happening is kind of twofold. Of like the audience is growing up with animation. Like Cartoon Network being a thing on television was a really significant deal in ways I don't think we've really come to terms with. Because before the way animation was in the United States was like Disney were the only ones making feature-length films.
Yeah, Disney.
Right? And they were the ones kind of like, and that's all for kids, It doesn't have to be. Like fucking, they made Snow White as a challenge to see if animation could make people cry.
Yeah, it's like it is pushing that forward.
But now it's kind of just sold as a kids thing because of the dwarves and whatever, and that was just the biggest market for it with all the merchandise and shit like that. And animation is so expensive, they really have to cater to that market because that was what was making the money.
Yeah, well, the merchandise is how they make all the money, right? So that's how they do it.
Yes.
They market towards kids, but it's trying to appeal to everyone, like at the end of the day. That's what they used to do back then. That's what most like of these big companies do anyways, like Pixar, Disney, all of them trying to appeal. There's so many fucking Disney adults out there that are like,
well, that's the thing. And so now it's like, I think we all grew up with animation that is capable, like Courage the Cowardly Dog, in places where like it was subtly hinting at the idea that it could be more than just goofy kid stuff. Yeah,
not like marketable.
Still operating in that work frame that Courage was able to last more than one season, basically.
Yeah,
not just be kind of a niche thing like Moral Oral, for example.
Oh yeah, I was just watching that last night actually.
Yeah. It's something hilarious. It's something else,
Hilarious show.
I would say that like the first 2 seasons are very boring, and I ended up, and it really is the 3rd season that's like worth going out of your way to watch it.
Dude, I don't know about boring, dude. I was laughing my ass off for like an hour straight, dude. To be honest. He got addicted to crack, and he's like 10 years old, man. I was that had me rolling.
You find that amusing?
That found me pretty. It was pretty amusing. not from a relatable way, because I've never smoked crack in my life.
We don't do
crack here, but maybe if you subscribe, we will. But who knows?
Oh my god, no, hell no. Because I have what I realize is kind of an addicting personality, where I do think I get obsessed and addicted to things easily.
So I would say that.
I always thought to myself, if I've had alcohol before, like a couple of times, but I had this intuition of myself of like, I think if I became a drinker and just like drank it regularly, I would become an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's a good separation.
If I did take drugs, I would definitely probably get addicted to them.
Yeah, no.
I'm avoiding them.
That's good. It's a good choice, man. Like, you don't want to fucking start a bad habit, man.
That's it. Well, I already have like that, right? I literally.
Yeah.
I don't make a point out of it or whatever because it's a little embarrassing. But like, if you see me on Digest, my fingers and stuff, you might be see cuts on them and stuff like that. It's because I chew my fingers a lot.
Oh fuck.
Like for years, decades.
Oh damn.
And it had like scar tissue all over my fingers and stuff.
Fuck.
And so like I see that and I'm like, okay, if I do that, God, don't put me near drugs.
No, yeah, if it's just like a minute sort of like physical tick, no, you don't want to.
And that at least it's free.
True.
Never mind, just like the money investment that would be put in that sort of thing. God.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like AniTube Digest on crack though. Like that would be
It would
something
probably be
else.
really
Like,
boring because I'd be totally
It would be
incoherent
boring?
and incoherent and
I don't know, man. I think it would just be insane to be honest. Like the not good section would be like 2 hours long.
God.
Like,
Yeah, they would just go into the person's character. Like this guy must be a fucking
it would like you would just
asshole,
be
and-
insulting their
But,
personal
like,
fucking
oh,
appearance.
God. Jeez, and it just starts to go into like like really bad stuff. Like probably extend beyond the person, if you know what I mean. Oh,
To be honest,
God.
yeah,
Hey,
fuck.
but that poll I mentioned, world building, character writing, emotional moments, and pacing. What?
Yeah,
plotting,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
not pacing. God. Yeah.
Plotting,
What
plotting.
which one do you think won?
What do you fuck? Of course I know it
Yeah,
won,
but
dude.
you
Of-
wanna
you're
know
of course-
how badly
of
it won?
Oh my fucking god, really? That's insane. What? Oh my god. So character. So wouldn't emotional moments?
Character writing was like almost the word, almost the least.
Wouldn't like emotional moments tie in with character writing? Because
I don't
wouldn't you
know.
feel
Yeah, I
emotional
guess.
towards the characters?
Right.
Like I feel like One
Right.
Piece, like as a whole, you like the
what
character,
what
and then
are
you're.
the emotional moments? It's all based on the characters.
Yeah, it's all their
It's all
backstories
centered on
about the
them.
characters
Yeah.
that you like. What the fuck is
Right.
that? That is the
I
dumbest
don't
shit
get
I've ever
it.
heard.
I don't get it.
Comedy, bro, dude.
Yeah.
It's the character writing for me. I think it's probably the best.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is-
Out of his writing strengths.
Out of
you
his
know?
writing strengths, you know. It's.
I guess they're in like denial because they secretly hold that idea of like Oda is not great at art or something because he draws all the females the same or and has a bunch of ugly character designs and shit.
Well, a lot of like people like in the mainstream just don't like pay attention or comment on a lot of visuals a lot of the time.
True.
Just because they haven't like delved into that much or they don't like comparing that. A lot of people just don't
Yeah.
look at it visually, which I find really weird because I'm always one to jump to that sort of comparison to other things.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just a sort of natural criticism, I guess, of mainstream criticism of like popular culture. But it's like that's weird. The world building won by 67%.
I know.
Crazy.
Well, it really goes to show that we're kind of the minority here. Like as much as we can clown on the people that like the world building, it's a this is I don't know. This guy has thousands and thousands of I don't know how big his audience is, but like it just goes to show the real focus on this. And even in this video that just came out, like literally before we recorded, Netflix Geek put out a teaser, or not like a teaser, I guess, but just sort of a little tour of the sets from the live-action One Piece.
Oh no! Oh no! Holy
It looks good. It looks good, I think. I get that Mary is a little like I don't know why his mouth's open, but
I'm watching this right now.
yeah.
Matt Owens, showrunner.
But like literally like the first thing that they say, Oda's world is so unique.
It is, dude. Okay, we have to.
Like I get
It
it.
is
Yeah,
unique.
like the designs of them are awesome and very iconic. It's not like some generic ship or whatever. And it's exciting to see kind of brought to life like this. I'm personally very excited about it. And I think there's some of the things they were mentioning where like there's a bar in front of Barrett's, like inside the fish's mouth, and that's where Zoro's gonna hang out a lot. I'm like, huh? Okay. I don't know what you're referring to, but sure. And that just means that I think that they're taking some liberties, and that's good. I think that because the reason I don't want them to be as straight adaptation with it because it's gonna get compared.
Oh well, dude,
it's gonna be one for one.
It's gonna
right?
get compared no matter what. Like
It will. Yes, it will. But at the very least, the creative differences in decisions can be like, okay, that they made this choice for this sort of reason, and that there's more chance for it to be interesting, and it's something that you can go out of your way to watch as supplementary material and not like a replacement for the real thing,
But I feel like whenever like some Hollywood executive like takes some animated property, they present it
Right.
as like the real version, like a lot of the time, because most of Hollywood doesn't see animation or manga as like an actual official like certified medium.
Just now with the Mary, the fountainhead for it, the fountainhead, I don't know, figurehead, I don't know, the goat, right? Like you could just as easily have made it exactly the same. You didn't have to make it an actual fucking goat.
Oh! Shapes, it's an actual goat. Why did they make it a realistic goat? Why did they make it a realistic goat? What is
right?
What
I think that it applies to exactly what you're talking about, where they're just trying to make it real.
They're trying to make it real.
Everything's tried to one for one.
It's a goat. Why is it a goat? Dude, it's like the Lion King remake.
It is.
It's like, why are they making it realistic?
Yeah, when the stuff that they're doing is not very realistic anyway.
Well, with the Lion King remake especially, it's literally just a one-for-one remake most of the time. But they took away all the cartooniness of the original.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still
expressiveness.
it's still a musical. So whenever the characters sing, it looks like you're just watching a nature documentary if you turn the audio off. But in actuality, it's literally just lions running and singing. And it's really weird and uncanny. And I'm scared for this. I'm paused.
I get it. Yeah.
This is
it's freaking out. Yeah. I think the casting is solid. And I just also hear from Roger Space and stuff. He's talked with one of the showrunners, that one guy, Matt Owens. He sounds like someone who's read it for as long as we have. It's not me, but you know.
I'm just saying, they can talk all they want, right? They can flex their muscles. They can be like, I'm a One Piece fan.
It is sort of in the end product.
It's the end product. Shapes, if I've been a One Piece fan for 7 years, but if someone came to me and said, Jack, can you make a live action One Piece for Netflix? I would laugh in their fucking face. I think that's part of, being a One Piece fan is definitely probably a part of, getting the appeal and understanding everything. But in an actual, filmmaking perspective, I want to see the actual end product before I judge anything, because I'm like, he could be a One Piece fan, but that's what fucking M. Night Shyamalan said. So I don't
Airbender.
I don't really trust this motherfucker.
Yeah, about Airbender. I understand that
because it's
sort of based on the actions, not based on the talk.
Because I'm pretty skeptical because I think it's the same studio, Tomorrow Studios, that did Cowboy Bebop live action, and I don't know if you've seen that. I
have not.
You have not,
but I've seen enough.
You've seen enough. Yeah, you've seen enough about it. Yeah, it was something special. So I'm I'm extremely skeptical.
But I will say I don't know that many people. Maybe you guys did when you reviewed it. You guys react to it with Milk?
Yeah, we watched the first couple episodes for Milk. Yeah.
So how much of that was creative choices like the directing and acting and writing? And how much of it was the sets and the costume? The thing that you're talking about, the studio, it's the same studio. Yeah. Because this is completely different. This is not the same showrunner.
Yeah, it's not the same showrunner, but it's the same studio. It's not the
same actors.
That's right. I'm worried about
in terms of bringing a believable world to life. Do you think Bebop? It seems as an outsider, it seems like they did a decent job.
No, the two biggest problems with the Bebop live action were definitely the writing, just the dialogue. Yeah.
It sounds like it.
And the set design, because the set design, dude, you can see the opening scene, it looks okay because it's an actual casino set, but most of the scenes are like a small little set with a obvious blue screen background, and it makes everything look so flat and lifeless.
Yeah, that's tough.
It was really tough because it
doesn't feel lived in the way Bebop lives it.
Because I was expecting, from the trailer at least, I thought it looked pretty good. From the Bebop trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm optimistic. This looks pretty decent. Yeah. But in the actual show, the sets were one of the most jarring.
Very limited.
Extremely flat. It was I was watching Yo Gabba Gabba or something, where they're in front of a fucking green screen. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So.
Yeah, can you guess what was going on there?
I think it's just a rushed production, maybe.
Do you know what was happening while they were filming Cowboy Bebop?
No. What?
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't know what was happening during the filming of Cowboy Bebop? Do I have to say the year?
Oh yeah, okay. That might be it.
I mean, I'm not surprised why it's limited, because it's they can't have these open air environments.
That might,
or I don't know. It sounds like a pandemic thing.
It might be, but I feel like I've seen other films that have come out, but it's
some of them, others did fare better.
It's probably a newer studio, I'm guessing. I haven't heard of them before.
It could be that too. But true. I just think with how open air it is, they're filming in South Africa, and the sets are actually real, and they're not fucking CG.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's really promising, personally. But I get that some of the artistic choices, like the goat head, I think is a bold choice.
A bold choice? Why do you have to say it like that? It's a bold choice. What is your real opinion, James? What does a bold choice mean? What does that mean? What do you mean by that? How do you really feel about the goat? What is?
I'm shocked. I was like, I don't see why. I don't know what the problem was. Just keeping it like that, you know, keeping it like the cartoonish thing, because it's a figurehead, right? It's not supposed to look like that.
It's so gross.
It made me be like, okay, they really aren't trying to do a one-for-one thing, and it just made me like, all right, maybe what kind of comedic situations could you stem out of that? Maybe it would be funny, perhaps potentially, if they kind of lampshade it, or just like, what the fuck is that head? You know, or I don't know. I think if they made light of it, as One Piece should be, with is consistently funny, right? So there could be potential there.
They could do like one joke about it, but it just kind of looks creepy. I'm not gonna lie. It looks kind of creepy. That goat, like it's what's happened. Like it looks happy, but like I'm just kind of.
I think what's like weirder to me is the stretch, like the little, like it's not just the head.
Yeah.
It's the little thing that goes along the side of it.
The arms.
I don't know if they're arms,
they look.
Yeah.
Why is it like
the fur?
It's
like the fur.
Oh, the fur is
along the side of it.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. Oh, like the little fur. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
It feels like a taxidermy fucking goat. You know, like they killed it and they
a real ass
goat. And I'm just like, whenever I see some of those like taxidermy animals, I'm scared because I don't know. It's just why do you present these dead animals like that? It's weird, man. But if it's a card,
taxidermies, it's pretty outdated at this point.
I can understand why people are into it. I guess. But
taxidermy was ruined for me for when Galaxy Express 3.9. The first episode, they have human taxidermy. Because it's a bunch of robots. So the robots put like humans as the taxidermy.
Oh, that's
fuck. Yeah, it's fucked. Fuck. It's pretty fun. It's a weird show.
That's fucking insane. What the hell? That's
yeah. That's in the first episode too. But anyway,
the
other not even that big a deal. He takes revenge. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
The mom. It's his mom that gets taxidermy.
Oh my god, that's even worse. That's even worse.
Yeah. But the other, I wanted to move on from live action One Piece, but before I did, I wanted the other post that came out, the other news, right as we started recording. They announced some new cast members.
Oh, dude, this is just like, whenever I see this, I'm like, this is either good or bad.
You get like a panic attack.
Because I feel like most of the casting's pretty good. I think Kobe is way too much of a fuckboy. Like, to be honest, like Kobe's.
It has to be. I think it'll depend on the outfit, because I think it's a smart idea to get someone who's kind of conventionally hot, I guess, because he does kind of get a glow up later on.
Yeah, true.
And it would be very hard to, and like the glow up is like, it's impossible. There's no way that's the same guy. It's like the same hair, but come on, Oda. That's a different character. But like you can't really do that in live action. So it's like it's easier to kind of uglify almost, or just kind of like push him down.
Yeah.
Give him glasses, make him more nerdy and stuff. And then the glow up is like, like fucking. I do have people like stare like. They look twice at me if I have my glasses off. I'm like, whoa, kid, I didn't know you had I'm like,
you had eyes. What the hell?
My glasses. Right, like when you take your glasses off, you're like, whoa.
Whoa. Who's this guy?
Right?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
I had that with I think there was one time I was so dead tired, and I came out of my room when my roommates were talking, and I just didn't put my glasses on. I just had no shirt on. I just rolled out of bed. And so my hair is like super down on the side, and I'm tired, so I look like really like serious and everything.
Shit.
And then everyone like is like, dude, what the fuck?
Who is this fucking guy?
Yeah, no, they were like, that was surprised. I don't know, that was funny.
That's pretty. But about this casting, like, it seems pretty decent, to be honest. Like,
I think Chef Zeph is perfect.
Oh yeah, his nose is like literally the same.
The jawline.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
You give him that
Mihawk
giant.
is pretty good.
Mihawk is, well, it's just like sexy guy.
Yeah.
Clawhador is Captain Kuro, right?
It's Kuro, yeah.
I don't know,
He's a
but
little high. He's less nerdy.
he's
less
too
nerdy than I
fat,
was
to be
expecting.
honest. I think they need a skinnier
Fat?
actor, man. To be honest,
You don't even see his full body. It's just,
I think,
his
but
headshot.
I feel like Captain Kuro is like a skinny
a scrawny, yeah.
little fucking
Yeah.
guy. But it's probably
get
fine,
that.
to be honest. This
I think, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. That's a choice I wouldn't expect, and I really like the Nojiko casting.
yeah,
That's cool.
it's interesting.
enjoy
Yeah,
Kaya's pretty perfect, and Morgan's good.
Morgan's good. Kaya's okay. Maybe yeah. I think it's all
Yeah.
okay. I'll just see how it is. To
Hey,
be
that's
honest,
fair. Hey, that's fair.
like, most of
It could
them's
be their
okay.
appearance is one thing, and then how they act is another.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're doing like the Nojiko sort of like casting, just like
Yeah, racial
the
bending.
racial change, which is
It
could be cool. I don't know.
I think it works because I think that there could be because there's not. I don't think it was ever really confirmed that Nojiko and Nami are sisters.
No, they're
They act like
adopted.
sisters,
they're
right?
No, they're not related by blood. Yeah, it's just confirmed
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
story.
So I think that I like that.
No, yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. It's a good opportunity.
So, but I'm kind of confused though because Arlong is black too. Does that mean all the other
Yes.
fishmen are black?
I don't know.
This will
Maybe
be
not.
I don't know, man. This
yeah.
this will be interesting to see.
It could also be a matter of like how much of it is going to be in person. Like, is Arlong and the Fishman and stuff going to be makeup, or how much of it would be like kind of affected by CGI, like Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like Davy Jones.
like
yeah.
Davy
Yeah.
Jones.
Exactly. Okay.
Where like it doesn't really matter if he's black or white. You can't tell.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it just
so
seems like
we don't
they're
really
trying to
see
go for that. Like at least from the casting, like it's I don't know, casting him as a black man, just like because the Fishman's like sort of backstory, right? Just
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have no idea what the fuck they're trying to do with this. I'll have to see. I'm terrified of this. Did they confirm when it's coming out, or are they still like filming it?
Yeah, they're still filming it. They're filming it right now, but it sounds like summer 2023.
Okay.
But I don't quite know.
Next year.
And heck, I'm still cool with it being like there, especially now that like Netflix is contracting because they lost subscribers for the first time. Now that they're contracting and they sound like they're not going to be taking giant wild risks and throwing money at anything and everything, I don't think this is going to progress farther than East Blue.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know, I don't think it'd be wise
unless
to
it's really
keep
good.
Unless they go all the way.
Unless it's really good, which I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that good to warrant that sort of thing. But also, I don't know if like, what's a good stopping point? There isn't. You adapt the rest of it.
Yeah, I think
there's no fucking way.
Yeah,
that they're gonna
they can't
spend all that
they
time
can't do
and
that.
money.
Yeah.
You know, for something that's just okay. So I think that this was sort of the era, and it's already greenlit and in the process. They can't stop it.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not, especially with the fit. This was also confirmed in the process before Bebop came out and had this incredibly embarrassing kind of rollout and critical panic.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So I don't see this happening further than East Blue, but I'm okay with that, honestly, because I honestly believe that East Blue is such a perfect introductory point and just a nice sizable chunk that, like, even if you stop One Piece altogether, if it never made it through Grand Line and stuff, there could always be that feeling of what if, kind of missed potential, whatever. But what we would have would at least still be on the cultural kind of imprint as, say, Rurouni Kenshin or I don't know, Yu Yu Hakusho, maybe. Just something that, like, obviously was really good, really successful.
Yeah.
But it's not One Piece. Like, One Piece is so much bigger
than anything else. Like it's
anything else. Literally 100 volumes.
Yeah.
Not the next highest is 70.
So it's like
and they're done, and they're over.
They're over. They finished like years ago.
And it doesn't sound like the culture is going to allow a series like this to exist in terms of manga, right? I don't know if JJK is going to make it to 50. I doubt it. I doubt might not
it.
Make it to 50.
I doubt
right?
it, man. Like it's the
like,
setup.
literally.
Like
And so,
people
yeah.
shit on the world. You know, we've shit on people like talking about the world building,
Well,
right?
we're shitting on them because that's all they talk about.
That's all they talk about.
That's
but
the first thing and only thing they talk about, and I don't think that's a selling point to people to get into One Piece.
Yeah, no,
which is the thing that I was upset about. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know it was this funny. I didn't know it was this fun.
Yeah.
And like the character, it's an enjoyable moment to moment show.
Yeah.
And the world building is a piece of that, but like.
It's just like comparing that world and like the progression of it throughout the story to, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia. It's not on the same level. It's not as well thought out, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
well, also it just kind of is right circumstances because Oda was willing and hasn't had anything, you know, debilitating happen to him. Thank God.
Knock
right?
on wood, man. Knock on wood.
He's had the ability and fortune to keep running with it and being willing to run with it. Everyone loving his story and being willing to help him with his assistance in the franchise and Toei, and because like as much as people shit on the anime and everything like that, it really is one of those engines that allows the manga to keep going.
Exactly.
Because it keeps it in the public consciousness. It keeps it in the conversation.
Yeah.
There's other mangaka that are this long, like Dokuben or Kochikame.
Yeah.
ran for 200 volumes, but no one gave a shit. Like I don't even know if Jump even if fucking
aren't those like comedy series though? It's like pretty different.
They are.
Yeah.
The Dokuben was a sports series, so
okay.
They would have some slice of life stuff, but it would be around sports and like games and stuff. So it does seem that one was a actual progressing plot and stuff.
Okay.
But even and you're right. Like I think One Piece is also very singular in the fact that it's a very continuous narrative, whereas something like Go-Go 13, which did manage to go one volume over Kochikame before the author passed away to become the longest running manga of all time, continuous, not like collective and different magazines and shit like that. Go-Go is episodic, completely episodic, you know, and he can just keep doing that and repeat himself, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know, because there's an audience there, and
people
he's
just
willing to do it.
Yeah,
right?
it's just like kind of popcorn sort of thing. Like you pick it up like whenever. It's not like a continuous story you're reading every week.
Yes.
Like it's not like it's not something like that, and that's just what because it takes those comedic elements from the sort of one-off stories and that Dragon Ball Shonen formula and creates this masterpiece.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a credit to Oda as well. He's able to still make every chapter fun and interesting, or just a joy to read, even if you have it completely out of context. If you're not caught up, if you read it, you could still laugh at some of the jokes. You can still enjoy some of the art and the paneling and stuff like that. And the narrative is just makes it all the better.
I guess if you're not. That's an interesting point. Like, yeah,
I'm not saying you should. I'm not endorsing whatever.
But it's
like,
I guess
you think of where it's released in magazines, right? You kids are picking this up off the. You think of like how many in America when they released Shonen Jump as a magazine for a couple years in the 2000s, and some kid, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to read this. They're not thinking that. Some kid is just going to pick up the magazine and just like, what's this? And they're just reading chapter 43 of One Piece. And they like it, you know. Or they maybe they don't, but like, but like, I don't know. I'm not gonna give you generalization, but like, I think they would have a fun time, and then they're like, oh, I want to go read this from the beginning, and then they can, you know.
Yeah.
But they're able to stand on their own as well as be, you know.
I get what you're saying with that, but I feel like as of recent, like as of like the post time skip sort of stuff,
Sure.
If you're reading the newer chapters without any context, it is extremely confusing.
You're not getting everything. Obviously.
You're not getting. Shaves. I feel like you're not getting most of what it is.
Yeah,
like
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say I'm whatever, but like I'm not trying to whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's only because, again, like I told you in the last one, is that the only reason I'm doing it occasionally. I'm not doing this every chapter. But I hear rumblings, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know, and it's like I'm not endorsing that or telling other people should do this or whatever.
Yeah.
I say again, that's me being an idiot. That's just me like being tempted by the
the devil. Yeah.
I'm literally like rested on Twitter right now, like on my screen, and I'm rested on a tweet that has 4 pages on it, like, and it has all the stuff that's going on, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just resting on it because I have nothing fucking better to do.
I have nothing better to do.
Because they post it and it gets 2,000 likes and it's One Piece. You like One Piece? Here's a One Piece with the hashtag One Piece 1061. Fucking all right, yeah, sure.
You're there. You haven't like read the past 5 arcs beforehand.
Right. But at the same time, I've also seen 500 episodes of One Piece.
Yeah.
If I see Nami and they do kind of a funny thing, and I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
I like funny Nami. True.
Yeah, like obviously I haven't read all that post time skip, but like, what's so awesome? What I love about Oda's characters is that they are remarkably consistent.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they are able to grow and you're able to see that progression over time, they're still the same person. And if they freak out over if Luffy freaks out over food, I can relate to that. And not I can relate. No, it's more like I can understand it.
Yeah.
And I find amusement in that.
Uh-huh.
Or just like, yeah, of course that's how Sanji and Brook would react to such and such. Right?
Yeah, to this situation that they fall into, That's
and that's fun.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Anyway.
No, I think I get what you're saying, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just giving him credit. I'm just giving him some credit where like that is something to keep in mind, because I think other art, I can't think of any specific examples, but I imagine if you were making this sort of episodic installment sort of thing and it was coming out in a magazine, there is some danger to making a story where you can literally only enjoy it, like singularly only enjoy it if you've read everything that's come before it. If you can't pick up a chapter from a magazine and read it and have some enjoyment out of it, granted you'll be super confused, or sure, because it says on the fucking title page chapter 1050 something. Sure, like people can understand that.
Uh-huh.
But like if they're gonna flip through it and everything like that, maybe read little bits here and there, and it's fun. If they take enjoyment out of that, that's something, I think.
I guess so. I feel like that would make sense a lot earlier on when One Piece, wasn't like the biggest.
Starting off.
Wasn't the biggest manga in the world, and because it's an example using a magazine, right? Like I don't think anyone reads manga in magazines in the West, and it's all
not in the West.
No, in Japan, I guess. Yeah,
they literally don't. It's because they literally don't publish them.
Yeah, no,
not like they did for a stunt for a couple of years. But like they literally don't. So
I feel like the shift, they're like Shonen Jump is like slowly shifting like online and stuff, from like the resurgence of like like Spy Family, which is like huge as hell. Like there's a bunch of Shonen Jump Plus things that are like even bigger than like some of the biggest Shonen Jump like weekly Shonen Jump.
Or you think of like webtoons, right?
like
with like the advent of that, and a lot of people are really enjoying those, and that one is formatted specifically for phones.
Yeah, exactly.
You're literally scrolling down, and that's the art is tailored specifically to that. Whereas a lot of people, consume anime not really through, they consume it not really through like official means or through buying the official volumes. Like obviously some do, but a lot of people are doing it through these illegal sites that are showing you the pages one by one, unless it's a 2-page spread.
Uh-huh.
Instead of the way that they draw it, which is by 2 pages, because it's published in a magazine. And when you open the page, you're not simply seeing the one page. Like maybe your entire focus is on that, and you don't want to spoil yourself or something. But the author is drawing the manga based on knowing that the viewer opens the page and they see both pages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so there's something to be said about that in terms of the consumption, scrolling one page at a time. Mm-hmm. It ends up being like more about what physically happens, and it doesn't matter the format so much. And that's what we were talking about earlier with like people care more about the writing and the characters than they do about the way something is presented.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's just food for thought.
Just food for thought, yeah.
This is something I like thinking about. I was realizing with my Ninku video, right? Because I ended up doing that, and I read manga. I don't like read manga very actively, but I have this this way of reading manga. The app is called C Display EX. I'll type it in.
Okay.
Like, it's great because you're able to just kind of plop the files. If they put like, oh, volume 1, they send it to you through like JPEGs or whatever if you torrent up this manga or whatever, and they're in like zipped files. But if you just drag the file volume 1 of something into it, you're able to see it and scroll at your own pace, whatever, and you can zoom in, whatever. But my favorite feature is that you can display it so it's showing 2 pages at a time.
That's
so you're able
interesting.
So that way, not only do you have the 2-page spreads, which are great, obviously, but you also you get to see 2 pages. And I personally like that visual a lot. And I used that in my Ninku video when I was showing the manga. I was showing it 2 pages at a time.
I get that, because that's what a lot of people enjoy. They prefer reading it like in a physical sense, just because that is what the author intended.
And it is what, yeah.
But to be honest, like the way I consume manga is just that what I found is the most digestible sort of way is that sort of webtoon format where all of the panels are in like scrolling down. It flows the best, and it like, I think most of the time.
Sure,
for me.
Sure.
And
I mean, I've enjoyed a lot. I don't think there's been an instance where I've consumed it that way and I felt like I've been robbing myself of some experience. You know, the way that when you talk about these, you know, think like wine testing or something, right?
Yeah.
People could be kind of snooty and elitist about it, and there's an argument they make. I'm not making, but they would say something along the lines of like, oh, if you read it this way, you're not getting the full experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and they're making that argument. But I would agree with you that when I read some of these comics, like, for example, I've read some Western comics recently, like Swamp Thing, Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, or...
say Al Gore's?
Alan Moore.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Al Gore.
I might have said Al Gore. Maybe I said Al Gore. I could have been initiated.
I'm like, maybe Al Gore makes comics? What?
Alan Moore.
Okay, Alan Moore. I've heard of Alan Moore.
And Miracle Man, also by Alan Moore.
Okay.
And you're right. I don't get the... I'm able to enjoy it just as much as anyone else who reads it this other way or whatever. I do think being elitist about formats is something, but I just like talking about it and reflecting on it that way because it does inform certain things and it gets us to better understand why things are the way they are.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just understanding the actual like intent behind certain media we consume.
Yeah, it's similar. It's in the same vein of like knowing the people who make it. And they're like, oh, this person was an editor,
This person,
this
person did this, just connections,
right?
Yeah.
Or even just that in regards to manga, I think it's always really interesting hearing how the Spy Family author and the Dandadan author, and what was the other one? Hell's Paradise, so Jigoku Raku, as well as Ayashimon, that author. I believe all 3 of them were originally assistants to Fujimoto, who was Chainsaw Man author, Fire Punch.
Oh,
right.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so you think of it of like his influence and them working under him, it then kind of influences their stories. Dandadan in a very overt way, but then even like it's interesting that that Spy Family kind of came from that lineage almost.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Well, it's like Chainsaw Man has those like heartwarming sort of like moments at times. There's just more moments of peace between like the 3 like main characters. There's kind of like a slice of life sort of moment where they're just chilling at their house in peace before all the chaos. But it's like there's moments of peace that I guess the Spy Family author could make from, or just stylistic if you could think of like even down to more nuanced stuff like paneling and the way that you frame characters on the page and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. I've not read Spy Family. I also haven't. And I also like, I've only read maybe 7 chapters of Chainsaw Man. Oh, dude, you haven't read Chainsaw Man? Fuck. No, I'm waiting for the anime. Oh, dude. No. I read it when it came out, like 7 chapters in. I was reading it week to week, and then I'm like, I was with those people being like, please don't cancel, please don't cancel, please don't cancel, right? Yeah, I was there. There was that period, right? Yeah. And then it was maybe like 13 chapters in where I'm like, I think we got news of like the first volume selling really, really well. So we were like, okay, I don't think it's canceling. Okay. And then when I was like that, I was like, all right, I'm going to wait for the anime because I think it'll look really cool. Fuck. I don't know. I'm skeptical about that too, but... sure.
but especially because you've read the manga.
Yeah,
right?
no, exactly. No, that's
Especially
every time I
because
read
you
a
have
manga
the
beforehand.
prior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I can't imagine. I actually don't know if I probably had those. Actually, yeah, I did. Like when we talked about last time about the Attack on Titan thing of like reading it in advance, and then the anime comes out 4 years later, and I'm not very whelmed by it.
Yeah, it's
because it's not what I anticipated or pictured in my head.
I feel like the worst,
as good as it actually was.
the worst I had with that was the Promised Neverland. Like that was,
Ooh.
cause I like, cause that was like, I really liked the Promise. I read it from the first chapter.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this shit's really good. It's really like interesting and cool. And then like the anime came out, like the first season, and everyone loved it, man. Everyone I fucking hated it, man.
Ooh.
It was terrible. I hate it
Damn.
because so many people love that first season.
Right. I didn't hear that many qualms about it.
I
I heard Bob Samurai hated it, but
I just think
he is in a very bad mental
the
place
adaptation is just, it's so like weird because it doesn't really like one of the biggest parts of Promised Neverland is just the inner monologues with the characters. So you get to see like into all of their heads, and just like what they're thinking throughout it, like planning everything. Which is like a lot of anime do that. Like compared to other mediums, like you hear like the characters thinking a lot of the time, and that's like a big criticism people like take. You know, like when they watch Death Note, they're like, oh, why don't they just show don't tell? And a lot of the time, Promised Neverland does that, but I feel like it's to its detriment because they're not really explaining what is going on, and it just feels like these kids are even bigger geniuses than they actually are. I was just sorry, just like tangent on that. I was really disappointed in that one, but just like
I get that.
It's kind of in the same vein as like with One Piece and that live action. It's reading that source material. And
I get that. No, I totally get that. I can imagine maybe it was like that when you're reading the, because you watch the anime first and then read the manga, right?
Yeah.
For One Piece. And so then when the anime gets to adapting stuff that you've already read,
yeah, exactly.
Kind of like, oh.
It's a little skeptical. No, it's that I've had that with Wano, because I think Wano looks great, but then they're like, I was watching it because I was like, damn, this is the art style is like amazing. Like they changed directors. It's like crazy now. Like the art style matches Oda's like original art style more than any point before. Like it's almost exactly the same. Yeah. But then like it reaches this point like early on in the arc that is like they adapted it so like differently and so slowly. Like this half a chapter part is like 3 episodes, and I'm like interesting. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse for sure.
I get that.
The manga reader lifestyle.
About that. I think I do like the nuance that you're able to bring when you have 2 different mediums of something, and so you're able to understand the work more. It reminds me of like the comparing with subs and dubs of an anime.
Yeah.
And, I've wanted to. I'm sorry if I've said this elsewhere, but like I've wanted to have an analysis where you literally go line by line and just decide, yes, the English did it better than this one.
Yeah.
Than the Japanese, or vice versa, and quantitatively prove that the dub is better than the sub, or vice versa.
But that would be so tedious.
It would be tedious. It would be tedious, and it would also be like nigh impossible for a TV series.
Oh yeah, like
right. Even a 13-episode one, that's way too much. That's 4 hours.
No, that's fucking brutal.
Right?
Like,
but a movie that could work.
Yeah.
I think that'd be it. It would still take a long time, and very big, but I think it would be very interesting, especially if I like the movie a lot. Like it's like maybe my favorite anime movie of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe that one.
Yeah, maybe that one. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's just like seeing that. That's what makes those cartoon cipher videos like so interesting. Just like see.
Yes, they're much more holistic.
Yeah, seeing like because they don't go officially line by line, but like they kind of break down like why some of the lines are just completely wrong and miss the entire cultural meaning behind some of the characters are saying.
Or enhance it.
Or enhance it too. Yeah. No, there's because there's some really good like dub writers out there. Even though I don't watch them like most of the time.
It was really just like perfect time and place, and they get it.
Yeah, they just get it. Do their research and everything, so it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's tough with dubs now. But like with all the modern stuff, even with how fast dubs come out, where like Spy Family's dubbed already.
Oh shit, is it? Fuck.
Oh, of course, a lot of them are like that.
Yeah.
Like they've had simul dubs for over
almost
a
the
decade
simul
at this
dubs.
point.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think it started in like 2015 or something. And yet the place where they put them, or just like the emphasis, especially with those few years from 2010 to 2015, where dubs were finally actually able to catch up, that period of time, it became so the community has become so sub master race.
Yeah.
Like Japanese sub only.
Oh no,
like,
for sure.
Absolute non-starter. And I find that really disappointing, personally. I do, and I get it, because I certainly get a weird kind of feeling about watching a seasonal dubbed.
Yeah.
Even though it is probably as good as some of the ones that we're quote unquote nostalgic for. And I say quote unquote because it's just like it's literally just the one that you started with.
Yeah, that's always what it is. You can
just choose, and there's no nostalgia behind it. It's literally just the one you're used to.
Yeah,
there's so many people that are like anti-dub, but they'll say Naruto is the one you watch dubbed because they
grew up watching it. So
that was the first one they saw it as, and like that's fair. I watched it on Crunchyroll, and that's not me being an anti-dub. That's just me not wanting to download that much Naruto.
There's so many episodes, man.
I just wanted to have a convenient way to watch it, and so I chose Crunchyroll that has all of it subbed. Now because that was their choice, in Funimation, I forget. I think it was Viz actually that has it Naruto dubbed. I don't know. Whatever. It's also the access to dubs is always not the best.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to just find the original. Like and that's just the mindset a lot of the time. People want to watch what the true like Japanese people intended. Like that's like sort of like the Japanese creators. Like they
and if the Japanese, but like there's always that like. I'm just making it like I'm kind of straw manning it a little bit here, but like, what if the Japanese wanted it to be in English, but they physically can't? What if that was actually their intention?
I don't.
Right, and that like they were like, we want this to be a Japanese. Like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
If you're setting it in New York, if you're setting it in New York and it's all American, there's absolutely no. The only times that like literally Cypher the Video is the only time where they had the balls to just put it in English, regardless of like and have Japanese subs under it, hard coded, and it's clunky, but like it's I respect the shit out of them for that.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know. It's
honestly I'd like to see more like bilingual sort of like anime out there. Just like looking at I don't know if you watched Great Pretender.
Yeah, like I was just you when you said that I was thinking Great Pretender.
Great Pretender, like it felt so natural, like watching that show.
Yeah.
Slipping into that, like the accent of what's
totally.
his name? I forgot the main character's name, but he just goes into his like terrible English accent throughout the show. It was
definitely.
Yeah, no, that was really cool to see. Just them trying to attempt this like new sort of a way of just adapting anime instead of everyone on the planet speaking Japanese or everyone on the planet speaking English. It's like there are different languages, and
it's also a show by show basis. That's what I always say about anime with this dub versus sub thing. It's always a case by case, because there are some anime that would make a killer dub, but they just botched it.
Yeah,
and it just didn't have the right ADR director, or the casting choices are just crunched for time. And and it's rare if it gets a redub.
Yeah,
very rare.
Yeah, well, it's all of them are with that simuldub format, right? They're trying to pump it out as fast as possible, and you can see the benefit in that, because that's what the whole anime medium is, right?
Well, yeah, but also just relevancy.
Yeah,
like, literally, that's just the age we live in.
They need to, but that will probably lack quality like most of the time. Like,
you don't have the time to know the full context of the story, where the characters are going. You can't have that foresight. That is one thing I will say with I really hate to bring the live action back up, but because I know you don't seem to like it, but like on principle. But anyway, one of the things the showrunner apparently was saying or the thing was Roger was talking about the live action One Piece, was that they have the foresight of the whole story, and they're looking at it and being like, we can add some stuff that would, like some stuff with Zoro, that is revealed on later on, that like like the whole thing with his, I don't know. I don't remember specifically what they said. Whether it was I think it may have to do with Baroque works or something, or just like them offering him to be in Baroque works and him turning it down. Like that would come up earlier or something like that. I don't remember. Just that stuff like that of just like having the foresight. It's the same thing with getting a new anime adaptation, and the creators as well as like the manga authors being okay with it, but like having the foresight to change some things and tweak things to give focus to certain aspects that I would make the story more effective, or altering certain scenes around basically. I think that's what makes Joe 2 like way better than the manga, because it's not going on a week-to-week thing. It's releasing week-to-week, obviously, like most TV anime, but they literally have 7 years since the manga finished for them to look at it and be like, okay, this is where the story is supposed to go, so let's set up these early events in such a way that it makes the later ones hit that much harder.
Interesting.
Interesting. Or just rearrange it that makes it more tight.
Yeah.
Or add more detail that wasn't explored ultimately in the manga. Kind of like what Oda does, giving supplementary content like that he would have included in the manga he gives it to the anime.
Yeah.
For them to be able to stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Or to pad it, right?
Pad it a bit more, yeah. No, that
I don't. Yeah.
No, that's definitely interesting, having the full context behind it. Like it definitely gives them a better idea of like all the characters and like their their character arcs and development as they go forward.
Right. It makes that it enhances that thing you like about One Piece, which is that everything's connected and everything has a reason for being.
Mm-hmm.
And everything comes back around, type of thing.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. It's a very appealing aspect. It's similar with, I was writing about the lore in Naruto and how everything's connected in a way that you weren't anticipating. You were told about that they would be, but you don't give the explicitness as it does later, and the reveal of that is like really appealing and fascinating.
I'm just thinking the live action will live or die if it is funny or not. I just like,
yes,
it literally will live or die, because and I think that's gonna be so hard.
That is,
if the writers aren't funny and the actors aren't funny, it's over, dude. I think it's
dead in the water.
Like the sets can look as good as they want, but I think that like I'll tolerate it if it's funny. Like that's like But like with these live action like anime, like I the adaptations, like at least the ones I've seen, I've only seen like the Death Note one, like the American one, and the Full Metal Alchemist Japanese one.
Right.
That one was pretty terrible too.
I heard about that. How bad that
it was really bad. But I would rather, I want it to either, this is just the person I am, okay? I want the adaptation to be great or terrible, because I want, if it's terrible, I want to be able to make fun of it. That's just the kind of the person I am. Because I've seen that American Death Note movie like 10 times because of just how like awfully it is adapted, like how like weird.
It doesn't adapt it. It just straight up doesn't adapt it. It literally takes the concept and Ryuk.
It does a bit. It does a bit.
And
it does a bit.
From the one time I saw it, it really felt like it was its own thing.
It definitely takes a lot of.
I kind of appreciate it.
It takes a lot of creative liberties. I'd think all of them.
It also takes the piss out of the concept. Like Death Note takes itself deadly seriously, for most of it. Like besides Ryuk, I guess. But like, and the kind of the extremity of it, just it's tonally pitch perfect. And then the live action movie, I think, was just sort of like a teen thing that would be on like MTV or something.
Yeah, that's
kind of like a schlocky beat.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, and it's that's why
it's not as good. It's definitely not. It's definitely nowhere near original Death Note, but I do commend it for that. I was entertained. I agree that like if it's terrible, at least it's entertaining.
No, that's what I want, because like if it's so bad it's good. Like it's like that. I need that Nat Wolff like terrible acting where his eyes are like bulging out of his fucking face for the entire movie for some reason.
And Lakeith Thomas, I think is his name, playing L. I love that performance.
Well, he's just a great actor, and he's just given like a terrible script, and like he's in a bad movie.
That's what I mean. It's just the tension of being in a bad movie, but being a damn good actor.
So weird.
And, like, really working with it. It's like, wow, this tension's palpable.
No, it's like he's like the
really,
only.
It's compelling.
He's like the only part of the movie that's like kind of enjoyable.
Hey, but come on, dude. Like Willem Dafoe as Ryuk. That's fucking iconic.
Yeah, I just don't like.
That sounds like dream casting.
Yeah, it's just I don't like the characterization.
Yeah, the rest of it, yeah. Oh, sure.
The characterization of Ryuk is pretty
Misa
off.
Stuff is insufferable. I get it.
Yeah, the Misa stuff is pretty. There's so many problems, but I have seen it like 10 times.
Yeah.
I literally the day it came out, I literally watched it twice. Like that's.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, dude, this is gonna be terrible.
This is something else.
I sat down with one of my friends who had never watched Death Note before, and we were just laughing the whole time.
Oh
It was he had no context at all, but it was a good time. But
let's fucking go. Dude.
Here's hoping One Piece is decent, or terrible,
or at least fun,
fun. You know, entertaining.
Shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm praying. Shit, do you want to talk about these these things we watched?
We got to an hour long, and we were like, what do we do for this next installment? Let's watch these let's watch the One Piece OVA, like the very old one that came out before Toei got a hold of it, and movie 1, which Toei did make. That was the first movie.
Yeah.
And Oda is not involved, guys.
I guess we could like explain the OVA, because I feel like most One Piece fans just don't even know it exists, because there's a couple videos that were like, look at this thing and whatever, but yeah. It's mostly pretty buried, all things considered. Yeah, it's like this OVA. It was I don't even what studio made it. Do we like?
So in terms of what it was made for, the very opening of the OVA is it looks like it's a jump festa, so it looks like it was a pilot. And this happens a lot. This happened with Black Clover very recently. Like before the TV anime came out, there was the pilot and an adapted chapter 1 and stuff. And actually, it's funny because it's like that didn't have the big screaming problem and stuff like that.
Interesting.
You know? Yeah, but it has that OVA, and Ninku also had a pilot film. But this all happens during like this Jump Festa. Which is,
the big festival they have. Yeah, where they announce.
But obviously there's a ton of One Piece if you search it on Mal. But if you want to find it, it's Kaizoku Ganzak.
Yeah, it's like the pirate Ganzak. So it's this. Yeah. It's basically because Shapes and I watched these yesterday, and it is literally like an alternate version One Piece, like an alternate world. Like we're in some different dimension because it's none of the same voice actors. The characterization is a little off for everyone. The art direction is a little darker and more. I don't know, a little more in tune to the '90s sort of style. I feel like at the time, like it looks like Pokemon. Like I was thinking, like throughout the whole thing, like the character designs are more rounded. Everything is a lot more in tune with like a lot of like other like Inuyasha or like all these other like anime coming out around that time, right? So it's like an alternate world. It was weird. Yeah. It was really weird.
To answer your question, it's the studio was Production IG.
Oh.
That made it.
Interesting.
Yeah. But and I'm looking into the director too. But like, okay, he directed Revias, Code. Oh, it's Goro Taniguchi, who's Code Geass, the Code Geass guy.
Okay, so the guy who directed Code Geass, the guy who created Code Geass, directed the One Piece pilot thing.
Yeah, this pilot thing. Yeah. So
it didn't feel like that at all, but interesting.
No, of course.
Of course not. Yeah.
This was 98.
Yeah,
so
okay, it's years before.
Yeah, so it was interesting. You're right, it's very off-brand One Piece. It's fun. It's only a half hour.
Yeah.
So it ends up being one of those, like a lot of these early One Piece things. It's like it's the crew, but it's centered on a young kid, and their island is in trouble from a terrorizing pirate
that sort of story. We've seen it.
In this case is like a crab guy, but he doesn't even have like the crab fruit or something like that.
No,
he just has crab arms, just like mechanical crab arms.
It's really
goo.
But
it's like, all right.
But he's weirdly insecure about the crab arms too. But like he made a choice to wear those, like because Luffy Luffy does the Luffy thing where he makes fun of the villain that he's fighting and
or just gives them a pet
gives
name.
them a little nickname.
Like, crab guy.
He calls him a crab the whole time.
That. Yeah.
But like the guy made a conscious choice to wear these crabs. and like
Right.
it makes him a better fighter, but he's still insecure when Luffy calls him. I don't. It was
It was strange characters.
it was just kind of, and he was just kind of a nothing sort of character, like
Oh, for sure.
sort of
for sure.
sort of like
very
some
generic.
very generic villain, like a sort of
Um,
like a Captain Morgan sort of, like doesn't really have too much.
Just bad. Just like I'm throwing my weight around.
Yeah.
I am in charge.
Macho man, just sort of ego.
I'm enslaving the people in this village so they can build me. It's actually strangely reminded me of Skypiea with Eneru.
Oh,
Because
really?
Okay. He was having them build that ship.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And it's interesting in that way. But yeah, it's he didn't have too much else besides him in that point. And then like this is taking place, if you're trying to put it on time, what I love about One Piece and like the kind of the way it's structured and stuff is like you can place the filler movies at a point in which where the story is, and so it's not like Naruto where it's like, when did this take place and why don't the characters know about it?
Yeah.
If this very comfortably could be canon.
It's
very comfortable.
I never thought about it like that before, but it's like perfect because like they're never in a static location like for too long because they're traveling, like literally traveling the seas to unknown islands, and they could just arrive there at any point. That's what makes it so perfect for these sort of filler.
Any of these movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even anime original content.
Like exactly.
Before the I think they stopped making it. In terms of anime original content, the last arc that I'm aware of in TV anime is before Thriller Bark. So before Thriller Bark, they do go to like this ice place. And,
yeah.
There's a guy with like a hot fruit or something.
Yeah, I remember that arc. That's pretty.
Yeah. So like all of it's fine because it doesn't feel like superfluous. It just feels like another adventure, and the attributes that makes One Piece so good, the comedy and the characters. And of course with Toei, and especially with this OVA, you can tell the animation style, art design, and especially the sound effect. Like the sound design of this OVA is completely different.
Yeah.
They're completely different voice actors playing Luffy, Zoro, and Nami.
Yeah.
Completely different music.
Yeah, the music was
different sound effects too.
Yeah, it gives like an entirely different feel, like a lot of the time.
That's really what made it feel like alternate universe.
Yeah, more generic anime sound effects a lot of the time. You hear that, like, I feel like the anime like wow sound effect was used. I don't even, maybe it wasn't, but it was like something that I've heard in like every anime was used. But yeah, I know it gives it that alternate dimension feel. But like the thing that was most jarring was the characterization. Like
yes,
I think we were talking about it.
Off there. They're very deliberately like that's. Why would he do that?
Yeah.
Like, why would Zoro act that way?
Yeah, Zoro is pretty off.
Yeah, Zoro was fairly off.
Yeah, he was the most off, I would probably say, throughout the three, because it only centers around Luffy, Nami, and Zoro, because it's before Usopp is introduced, is when it's set.
Exactly. So like I said, it's like, oh yeah, this takes place at Romance Dawn. So Nami at this point in the story is a lot more like a Fujiko type character.
Yeah.
Who's not really part of the crew, but she's there because it's advantageous to her.
Yeah.
And so she betrays them, and it's literally like Fujiko. Like, I've teamed up with the bad guy now. And then it's a double cross.
It's like a double. She just wants the money, man. That's just it.
Right.
And it's pretty Nami like most of it.
It is. Yeah. It's just that they don't get a whole lot of her.
Yeah,
he's why that characterization didn't feel that off, because it's like, yeah, I guess you got it right.
Yeah.
At this point in the story, I think I commented to you, it's like, yep, this is definitely pre-Arlong Nami.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Before they sort of set in stone that she's part of the crew, right? Like it's
or just you understand what her motivation is.
Exactly. Yeah.
At this point, it always feels very shallow. Oh, she's just in it for the money. But no, like there's reasons she's in it for the money, right? Reasons why she hates pirates. And it's funny, the kid character that this centers on also hates pirates, and there's this little like, oh, Luffy's a pirate, like kind of the realization, like a lie revealed almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, Luffy's a pirate. It's like, oh
god. That's something we see throughout like the entire series, though, of everyone, of just a sort of
the realization of being a pirate, for sure.
Yeah, the realization of not all pirates are bad. That's like because most
not all pirates. Hashtag
not all pirates. Hashtag not all pirates, bro. It was just it was really corny. I thought
so too.
If I would use one word to describe it, because like the music was very hammed up for the emotions, just kind of out of nowhere.
メダカ父ちゃんをいじめるな貴様どうやって鍵を外したまあいい親子揃って始末してやる果たしてその鎧で俺様の攻撃に耐えきれるかな
And I'm not saying that the original anime OST
the anime
isn't
pretty much does kind of do that
cheesy.
a lot,
Like
but
it's
the
cheesy.
Reason, I think it's because it's great music and it's placed in a great way. It's always I've mentioned it in other places, but like it's one thing to have a really good soundtrack and another to use it effectively.
Yeah, no, it's like
it's
utilized
like if you
perfectly.
have a good track but you never use it, like what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah, like honestly,
why did you do that? And that, I think it's really the placement of Toei's sound design and the precise times where they choose to use the music and stuff like that, and also just their rock solid consistency. The fact that they've been using the same soundtrack and it still fucking slaps.
Like it still
20 years
works,
later,
man. Like
is unbelievable.
Fuck, it's.
But it's good because for someone like me who's watching 500 episodes in 4 months.
Yeah.
Which these episodes were literally made over the course of almost 10 years. Like I think 07. No, when do you think Read For It ended?
07.
Like year what?
It was like 2010.
I
think it was 2010.
2010?
2009 or 2010,
over,
yeah.
Yeah, that's literally over 10 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where I watched that much, but it didn't feel like 10 years had gone by. The only kind of technological shift was going from 4:3 to widescreen.
Yeah.
And it was, I noticed the change.
Yeah, the switch to digital, Yeah.
Yeah, but like other than that, it's like everything just feels like the same story and it's rock solid consistent. But I agree. I think it was ultimately very corny. I think the best aspect of this OVA to kind of go out your way for is the look of it.
Yeah, the style it was so distinct. Like I really liked the way they drew Luffy. It seemed like some like cool Twitter fan art you'd see, but it was just like like putting him in like a fucking Sailor Moon art style or something like that. That's
Well, it's the reason I wanted to go out of my way to watch these the OVA, the first movie as well as the second movie, is because this was before digital animation.
Yeah.
This was animated with cells. And I could just tell that with just like kind of the way it's animated and the look of it and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so different for One Piece because the entire show, which is also credit to they're very lucky that they kind of got right on the cusp with digital animation. They decided to go with digital right away from episode 1. Toei just got it, man. Fucking 1999, they did Ojamaja Doremi, Digimon Adventure, and One Piece in the same year.
Damn.
And it all looks good in digital and in that new DigiPaint kind of thing.
I didn't even know that it was digital from the beginning. To be honest, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just learned that. I thought it was Cell. I thought it was Cell.
No, that's definitely not Cell. At least I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
That makes. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I didn't even think about it.
You kind of tell with the line art. It's a weird thing to tell. It's like having to see a lot of it, and also seeing like the difference when you go from something like Metabots. I did the closed captions for both of these series when they were dubbed. Metabot Damashi, which is kind of the second season, 39 episodes. The first 12, I think, episodes are still in cell animation, the same style it was as the previous season. And then it switches to digital.
That mid-season?
Yeah.
That is so weird.
And
that is
very noticeable.
Is it like bad?
It's pretty bad.
Is it,
yeah.
Yikes!
I thought it was pretty bad.
Shit. And if you thought it was pretty bad, like shit, like
well,
you're not one to,
I guess I'm not going to dismiss it. I can kind of I love fucking Legend of Black Heaven. I love that anime, but God, I wish it didn't look like that.
I have no idea what the hell that is, but let me look this
flattering.
up. Legend of Black Heaven.
Legend of Black Heaven. The anime, the opening is legendary. Definitely one of the best anime openings, period, in my opinion. But then the fucking show, it just doesn't look good. I just feel really bad.
It's a lot of those. Is it like early digital stuff? Like, is that?
It is. It's
that's just the problem.
It's
so many.
I'm gonna send you a Sakura clip.
Oh, this is the one with the.
Hey, what the fuck? You got a fucking problem?
That the dub scene.
Oh yeah, the dub. Yeah, with the the angry black guy. Yep.
Yeah, the black dude.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get a scene from the original Metabot and then try to see if Sakagaboro uploaded something from Damashi, which is not likely because.
Yeah, I've never seen Metabots. I looked it up and it looks weird. It looks
it's
like
very cartoony and
so it's like Pokemon,
but it's really
but
fun.
The robots are
talk.
the Pokemon, so it's like
Robots
little
talk.
robots.
Yeah, it's really.
Oh, they
cool.
talk. Okay.
It's a cool show. It's really.
Is
fun.
it like a Pokemon ripoff or is it same time?
It's very different. I think it's its own thing. I think
okay.
It's just to stand out and become its own thing. It's a lot more funny. It's a lot more comedic and wacky animation.
Really
like
now?
Imaishi. Like this clip I just sent you one.
You're saying it's funnier than Pokemon, bro.
Pokemon is very good too because it's funny. I love
Yeah.
Pokemon a lot, especially the original season. I
exactly.
do think they kind of lost the plot with comedy, and then they brought it back with Sun and Moon. But this is a lot more like Pokemon doesn't look like this, is what I'll say.
No, yeah, Pokemon does not. No, Pokemon looks terrible. Yeah.
No, I like it.
No, I love the style, but just the animation.
You see the animation of that. And then
no, this is insane. Yeah.
Recap of.
No, this looks great. No, like the sort of like it does have that Imaishi sort of style where everything's kind of very wacky character movements, like very expressive. Because it's not very on model a lot of the time. No, I like that. I dig this style.
I wish I could show you the DigiPaid stuff. Just trust me, it looks bad, bro.
Okay.
No, but where we're going with One Piece, the style animation, that's why I wanted to go out of my way to watch it. And I love that Luffy's like his pistol looks so strong, which usually that's like his weakest, like his base attack. But like pistol was like the big attack for him in this one.
Yeah, it was huge.
And then he did like whip, but I think that's all he did. I think those.
I don't think he did much.
He didn't even do bazooka on the guy, and they definitely had bazooka by then, like Romance Dawn, right?
Yeah, I think that's how he defeated Buggy.
That's how he defeats Buggy.
I think that's how he defeated Buggy. Yeah. So.
And he has Rocket as well, so I guess he does.
I don't know.
Rocket.
It was just
very early One Piece, and not in a good way. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like they don't have enough there. Like all Luffy could rant about was food, and yes, that is his thing, but he's
he
a
also,
lot more than that. You know?
He is a lot more than that. He is a simpleton, but it's like he has a lot more character traits than that.
There's nuance to the simpleton. There's there's different shades of stupidity, like not being able to recognize. Actually, there is that in this OVA. He's not able to like the main girl wears a big suit, an oversized suit of armor the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then the end of it, the whole OVA, at the end of it, she takes it off, and he's like, "Wait, who are you?"
Who are you? It was.
Which is funny.
God,
that was a good
that was really funny. Yeah, I feel like they took a lot of his simple traits to maybe too far of a degree. Like he was so stupid. Like I feel like initially trying to help the little girl, he was just doing it for food, which I feel like Luffy. I don't know. He's a very moral person. Like a lot of the time he would just help someone. Just because like there's a bad guy around or something like that. Like,
well, also I think One Piece does a very good job making you think that. Ultimately, it is him being self-serving.
It is self-serving,
but Oda finds a way to loop it into something Luffy cares about. That's not simply a carnal desire, like
exactly
or something.
No, that's what made it a little jarring for me. It's just like
it was forced.
It was a little forced.
I agree. Yeah.
They didn't really understand the appeals, the little intricacies of the writing, but it was a pilot. It was just trying to demonstrate
very
what it would
early
look
too.
like.
Like this came out July 1998, and the manga was out 97.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like maybe less than a year.
That just shows how big of a hit it was. Like I don't even know. Like I don't know the rising popularity of One Piece. I don't know how gained popularity, to be honest.
The manga was July 1997, and the OVA came out literally a year later.
That's crazy.
I can imagine it was probably just like that's just like how like instant hit it was. I imagine like the first volume or two.
Yeah, probably.
And then they're like, we're making this an anime, and like Toei's like, that's it. I guess IG made it first. But I'm happy that Toei was the one that made it because they have that history, they have that pedigree, with Dragon Ball specifically, and they're like, let's make this one our next one. Like Slam Dunk didn't really work out because the Inoue decided to make it only 30 volumes, and so they were like, yeah, it gets a 100-episode anime, but that's as much as we can do.
Yeah,
it didn't like fully adapt it, as I say in a video I made, but but like it ends up. I was guessing that like based on the rate at which they were adapting it, they probably had another 39, another 3 cores probably afterwards. They could have They could have finished it in like 150 episodes total, which for them, that's a nice run, but it's not what they want. It's
not what they're looking for.
Because Dragon Ball was such a thing for them, and because it actually wasn't even started with Dragon Ball. It started with Dr. Slump. Dr. Slump being able to be made for 243 episodes.
Damn.
From like spring 1981, and then right after that, directly leading into Dragon Ball, which is 153 episodes, directly into Z, which is, wasn't it the case? I think I heard this from Cynic Clinic that like Z was something that like the studio deliberately wanted to make, and they kept Toriyama to keep going. And
I imagine it was probably something like that.
And then that one is 291 episodes.
Well, it's also like an editor, probably a Shonen Jump editor, sort of.
It could be. Yeah, it's a collaboration because there's so many people that are invested in that property because it's a livelihood for more than just Toriyama.
Yeah.
And that's how these things are able to run.
Yeah, like the stories sort of take direction based off of like the people he's collaborating with. Like a lot of people kind of theorize the story went in like a certain direction.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to end it, like, sort of, like, pass the torch on to Gohan.
Yeah.
With the end of the Cell, like, arc.
Or even with Frieza, with, like, blowing up, Goku.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, he has these sort of, potential endpoints, but the story is just so popular that the magazine and the studios and everyone, every production committee is like, please, we need more money, we need more money, and then it's like... The story just keeps getting worse, and it's like, okay,
I think Cell was great. It sounds.
No,
like
I mean after Cell.
Cell. I get it. Boo was tough, and so he decided to end it, and then Toei made GT right
exactly.
afterwards. And so they're keeping it going, and then they're like, all right, fuck it, we'll stop.
We'll stop.
For now.
Then we'll make Kai. Kai, and then they made fucking Super.
They would continue to try to find other means of which to do it, but they gave it a break, right? But then there's that after GT moment. GT is I think 94. It went from 96 and another year 97, and so at that point it was sort of like, all right, what do we do? And 97, this is One Piece thing. Oh fuck. Get that right now. And so there's a Jump Festa thing, like, to get excited about it, and Toei's working on it. And this is just theorizing. This is what my presumption would be. And then 99, and we're on. And One Piece is like a glove. It fits perfect for exactly what they want, and that's why it's gone 1,000 consecutive episodes. Like, obviously there's some breaks here and there, but like it's one unbroken show. There's no seasons. It's one unbroken show, and it's awesome. And thank God this is the one. Like I said, it's great. But yeah.
Yeah, and like speaking of great.
Speaking of great, I was just thinking like, that OVA we thought it was okay.
It was okay.
It's a novelty. It's certainly interesting to look at in the broader history, but it's definitely not something you want to go out of your way to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure if the quality of it, like the audio and the quality of the
it's
version,
very rough. Yeah.
Very rough.
Yeah, it's
so,
like 240, and it's not great. I think if there was that you mentioned this when we were watching it, if there was that original negative of restoration for it.
Yeah, like a 4K restoration.
It would probably be a lot better. It'd probably be a lot more enjoyable. Because again, the best part of it is that visual. Are the visuals, I think.
Or the different style. Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Definitely.
Because we also watched the first One Piece movie, which I thought I'd seen before, but I guess I'd only seen parts of it in passing. It was really interesting. Is there is it just called One Piece the movie?
Yeah, on Mal it's just One Piece movie 1.
One Piece movie 1.
And then synonym is One Piece the movie. So,
One Piece the movie. So it's that first movie. It's not as epic as something like the first Pokemon movie or something like that.
Yeah.
It just seems like an early. It's like a pinnacle of early One Piece adventure. like pretty solid like filler arc.
Self-contained adventure. This takes place after Syrup Island, so they have Usopp, but before Baratier, so they don't have Sanji.
They don't have Sanji.
But it's the four of them. They have the Mary. Although the Mary really isn't in it that much at all. They start on the Mary, and then it's pretty much just...
it's just the islands they're on. They have the Mary, and it's insane, because I think you commented on this, but we're watching this movie, and the extreme pace, like the fast pace it takes throughout almost the entire film is like honestly so refreshing, to be honest. I was so like entertained like from minute one.
It's constantly like, moving from joke to joke, and like even the dialogue is kind of accelerated almost, and it's very snappy.
Very snappy. Like it nails like all the character moments. It makes the dynamics between all of them are perfect. Like it has a lot of Usopp and Nami and Luffy and Zoro sort of.
They each get like a very good amount of screen time. Like unlike the OVA, where I think Nami was a little underutilized because they weren't really sure what to do with her. This one, it really gets her function as kind of like the non-superpowered, very crafty girl.
Exactly.
Girl.
Girl, she's after that money, and like she'll do anything. She's kind of a
very thrifty, and like,
very
hey,
thrifty.
Nami, can you pay this guy off? Like, could you help pay our debt? And like, and this fucking movie, man, it gets it. It gets it, man.
It was going from like the weird voice actors of the OVA to like the normal voice actors of this.
From the anime. This movie was by Toei.
Yeah, this movie's by Toei. It's like it's the first movie. I know a lot of people haven't really seen it because a lot of people just watch the newer One Piece movies that come out.
Because the fucking community is like, oh, you don't need to watch these older ones. Oda's not involved. You wanna watch these one that Oda gave the original concept art to, and that's fucking it. Like
he wrote he wrote the character names. Oda wrote the story for this one, bro. He named two characters and drew another woman with big boobs. Like, congrats. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Like actually.
Right.
But they nailed like everyone. Like Usopp Usopp's my favorite character, so obviously I'm gonna compliment him. But like Usopp's like inclusion throughout the whole movie was hilarious. Like him, because the whole plot of the movie is they're just sailing and they stumble upon this like pirate crew that steals their treasure, and then their captain, who's this guy named El Drago, he has this devil fruit, I think, where he shoots a fucking laser beam. And it like blows up a lot of things. Like, I don't even think they discussed what the devil fruit was. Just has like.
But it's very brief. It's just.
But it's very brief.
Devil fruit.
It's a devil fruit, but it's like he has like a hyper beam Pokemon attack that he attacks.
Yeah, it's just a hyper beam. That's like the only thing he can do.
And that like separates the crew. Usopp is stuck on this island where there's apparently some great treasure. And he has to pretend that he knows where the treasure is and tricks the pirate crew because they are stupid the whole time.
It's not so much he has to, and more like he's going to die, and so he says, "I know where the treasure is. You can't kill me." And like, okay, they lead into it, and he obviously has no fucking idea.
He has no fucking idea. He just keeps making up more bullshit. It's that classic Usopp lying that I just love so much, and just like his voice actor is just like always makes me laugh, like almost always.
Yeah.
And it was just that like for most of the movie too, it's Luffy and Zoro's sort of dynamic was really funny because they it's like established early on that the crew is sort of low on food. Because Luffy ate all of it because he's like he's Luffy. And they stumble upon this ship that's like a ramen, like Odin.
It's like a Odin place, but it's on
like
a ship. So it's like a proto Baratier.
Yeah, it was really cute.
They do lampshade a bit in the credits, like the ship kind of going full speed and it passes Baratier. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was really funny.
But yeah, it's like this in the middle of the ocean, and it's just
in the middle of the ocean,
one little ramen stand, and it's
Luffy and Zoro like eat all of this motherfucker's food, and they don't have any money because they just got robbed by this dragon guy, and the ramen shop owner like ties them together with like these like chains.
Yeah. And
like there was literally like a fight scene where Zoro is fighting with Luffy like chained to his back.
With
and
no
arms,
so he has
with no arms.
He just has the one sword in his mouth.
He's just using it. It is so funny, and just like it works so well between everything.
It's It's funny. That's exactly the situation that happens in like Water 7 with
the Ennis Lobby thing with
but
Usopp.
It happens like years beforehand.
Before
that happens, but it's great.
But I just feel with Luffy, it makes it like so much more interesting because
Definitely.
like he is made of rubber and he keeps getting caught on things, and which like makes Zoro struggle to fight, obviously.
And Luffy's just completely clumsy and he doesn't really consider Zoro at all, and so he's like running a bunch and like doing whatever, and Zoro's just unconscious behind whatever. And it's like he turns around, like they're weighted on like an anchor or something, and the anchor fucking hits him on the head like, as he's turning around. I don't know. It's the shit.
He doesn't even like. He literally doesn't even do anything.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Oh, it's so funny.
Movie. They get it because it's so many. There's like really good jokes, and the character writing, and like the interactions they have with each other, and again the snappiness is really helpful in that because it's constant like boom boom.
Like to each joke, it's like the pacing is just it's so tight, and just the one joke that had me like dying was like whenever when Luffy first comes face to face with El Drago, like the villain character, and he's like, "Yo, what's up? I'm Luffy. I'm gonna be the king of the pirates." And then he turns around to show Zoro, and Zoro's like so like tired from running around with Luffy all day. He's like, "This is Zoro," and Zoro's like, "Ooh," just normally like, He's like, "Yo,"
he's rolling with the punches.
The most Zoro moment like ever. he's like, "Yo, what's up?" Yeah,
yes, I'm here too.
I'm here too. Like,
that's great.
it was so perfect.
For sure. And it's a really simple story, and like I like that they have that general kid character that's but he's
that's
not
in
the
everything.
focal character. He's kind of like a moral center almost of just sort of like something that like the movies kind of end on in a thematic thing. Cause
exactly.
Out of this surprised me. Like this has a genuine ass One Piece backstory. That's like surprising and like heartfelt. There's like a quote about gold.
Yeah.
Because it like the thing is that if people want to know about it or whatever, but I recommend watching the movie yourself because it's a great movie. Like
go watch it. Watch it.
Like a moment-to-moment experience is just a great movie to watch. So it's okay if you know it's the ramen owner shop. He actually knows the pirate which they're trying to find this treasure for, and
they grew up together.
They grew up together, and he mentions how he's not interested in searching for gold or treasure because it's just monetary. It's just things, and he's like, gold. Like the quote was literally like, this could have been from Oda himself, where he's like, oh yeah, gold. It doesn't cry. It doesn't laugh with people. It doesn't blah blah blah. It's just a rock.
It was a very Oda moment. Like, it felt like something he would say.
And the whole like, the thematic kind of resolution at the end of it is really just he appreciated the journey more so than the monetary thing that he was trying to just the object he was searching for. It literally was. It wasn't that precisely friends we made along the way, but it's more like that Hunter x Hunter thing at the end of like, enjoy the detours, which I do think ultimately One Piece is trying to give you that thematic thing. Despite Oda has said that like One Piece is going to be a thing. It's not just going to be some
it's not just
concept.
It's not
of, like,
just the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Which is good. It's good for tension. That's good tension, but it also alleviates those concerns of like how predictable it'll be. Because that's one of the stronger points with One Piece is how subversive it is, while at the same time, of course, it's sort of just like it clicks so perfectly. It's like, oh my god, everything fits,
Everything fits perfectly,
and like it's satisfying while also being like not what you fully expect. It's not predictable.
Yeah. What I really liked about this movie is just the sort of theming that they just present. Like, just it's all about that central One Piece theme of like chasing your ambitions.
Yes.
And it's sort of like Luffy's kind of relationship with this kid, the ramen shop owner's son who wants to be a pirate, but his father's like, I want you to work at the ramen shop. I want you to try this out. This is my passion. And it's about just the father and son just learning. Yeah, obviously you just chase your ambitions, like be the person you want to be. It's presented with like this kid who has so much doubt. It kind of reminds you of like Kobe at the beginning of the series.
It was very much Kobe of like, but I'm not strong enough to join the Navy.
Yeah, and Luffy's like, I don't give a fuck, man. Just do it, man. Just get stronger.
He's just like, okay, get stronger.
Like, bitch.
It's cool to have that reflection to see it now, when that's also Luffy's journey, and he just kind of discovers it in a different way. With the Devil Fruit, yes, he had to train to get that good. When you see him at the beginning of the series, he kind of is able to do all these things and being imaginative and being as cool as he is without much of like working hard for it. And I'm not trying to be like, who he doesn't work for is whatever. I'm not trying to make some like strong statement against it or whatever. But it's fun how carefree he is, and like he's able to still overcome and you know, he struggles and everything, but there's not that wall that he hits in Marineford where he's like, oh fuck, I have to get stronger, you know? He doesn't ever really encounter that up until that point. So I thought that was really interesting, where he tells the kid, oh, just get stronger, dude. And then it's like, he has to face that answer himself, and he's like, oh, I just have to get stronger, you know?
The goal comes first, and like the challenge just comes with it. Like that's just how he faces life. And
exactly.
That's just so inspiring to anyone who has like a big goal like that, which is, you know, a lot of people. Most people, like, you know, anyone who has like a big dream that they're chasing, like, you just have to start and, you know, keep going with it, right?
Yeah, keep a constant focus, moving forward type of thing.
Yeah, and that's what like initially just drove me to One Piece, just like that sort of that drive for ambition. And this movie like really it emphasizes that, and I really like that.
Does a great job, and it's a visual splendor as well.
So good,
again,
so great looking.
This was like cell animated, but it's Toei, and it's kept in very good quality.
The movie quality,
1080p. I will say that the something we didn't mention about the OVA is that the version we had that was done by Kaizoku fan subs. So there was that classic Gomu Gomu.
Yeah, they had
and like the
fan subs and stuff. Yeah.
Whereas this movie, a lot of 1080p movies, I've noticed that they do this, where if it's a new restoration and stuff, people just want that new quality and stuff, and they're not going to give as much care to the subs as they used to. And so there was a lot of like spelling errors and like this. They're not stylized. It's not fun. It doesn't feel as immersive.
Well, there was a lot of errors at the beginning of the film when we were watching it. They were just like straight spelling like entire
like hiccups and things.
Like words were just wrong. They were just using wrong words. Like it was really weird. I was like, but like as it went on, it was fine.
Yeah.
But it was really weird at first. It just kind of confronted with the like terrible like subs.
Especially coming off of Kaizoku fan subs, for sure.
Yeah, which is just
They're going so hard. They're fucking translating Yosh as Yosh.
Yeah, they fucking said Yosh.
Real fucking weebs here. All right.
So good. It was so good.
I like that. You know, if there's care and passion put into the translation effort, that's appealing. You know, versus it just kind of it almost felt like machine translated. The One Piece movie,
like Google Translate,
almost, it worked out fine. You're right. I completely forgot about it by like the third of the way through, I think.
Yeah, it was like completely gone, because it was like the Goldie Roger intro. There were just so many like misspellings of like the
formatting bugs and stuff that they wasn't intending to be, but it's just sort of a rush job. Nobody quite checked it.
Oh, for sure. But it was a really surprising, like great movie, because I think I watched the first like 15 minutes of this like years ago.
Yeah.
Probably whenever I caught up to One Piece, and I was like, this is okay. This is okay. I'll watch this later. And,
and like fucking,
that was,
it has everything. It really has incredible comedy. It has very good like emotional thematic stuff. Like really good, philosophical lines on gold.
On gold, being a rock.
The fact that also the villain is also like very obsessed with gold, and there's this one line where Usopp's describing the treasure. Obviously, he's making everything up, but he's describing diamonds and rubies and emeralds and sapphires, and the guy's like, I don't care about any of that. And he's like, what? It's like, I only care about gold. And then he has like he gets like this weird moment of kind of weird characterization of just. He's kind of
really
but like
very fixated on this one sort of
and like
his
nails
entity.
are gold. It keeps kind of like
picking at
centered
them.
on on his nails and specifically being gold and stuff.
It's really weird. Yeah, he's such a weird villain. Cause he looks fucking weird. He looks like I think I said he looks like Bakura from fucking Street Fighter. He is so weird. He's like the green
big
motherfucker.
Monster man.
He looks like a big monster man, and he has these gold like fingernails. He's really weird. But that's what, just like, that makes him, want us to see Luffy beat him the hell up.
Oh,
it works.
For sure. And like, it's actual characterization and not just what we said earlier with that crab guy, where like, yeah, we can remember he's the bad guy because he's a crab. I think one thing about like the designs that I like about One Piece that people clown on it all the time, but even the girls, I would argue, he follows the silhouette rule perfectly. Like, you can tell that the silhouette, even if the facial structures are very similar and stuff, if you put the characters in just all black, and you just saw their outline, you know what character it is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you could probably do that with the vast majority of his 1,300 named characters.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, so many of them, their body shapes are, so
distinctive,
vast and distinct. There's like egg-shaped motherfuckers. There's like pear-shaped.
Whatever the fuck Gecko Moria is.
Moria is like you can't even
creature.
describe. He is a creature. I don't even know if he was a human being before. Like, he is a fucking creature.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
it seems like everyone in Gecko Moria's crew, like that hogback guy, looks weird as hell too.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone's all fucked up. Like, Perona's the only one who's like,
And then Perona, in Perona you'd be able to tell from the silhouette because of her outfits and stuff like that.
Oh, her outfits, her hair, for sure.
I something I've always wanted to compliment about with One Piece's designs and stuff. But anyway, this has everything with the action, the final fights that they have.
That was really good.
With Luffy, I've never seen him do an attack like what he does in this final one, which was like very satisfying. It wasn't just a big punch. No offense to I like big punch. I'm not trying. No knock on the big punch. I'm just saying. I was reflecting on it, and like every major bad guy that Luffy fights, he does manage to finish them off in a different way, which is great. Like Don Krieg is its own thing, Kuro's its own thing, Edaru's its own thing, etc., etc. And he's able to give each of his attacks the spotlight, or that makes it worth having in his arsenal. Basically.
No, it makes the diversity worth it to try to trip people up, because you can't just keep punching people with the pistol, man.
And he uses almost all of his attacks that we have known up until Berthier.
That's what made it so
all
interesting.
of them against that villain, which is awesome.
Yeah, almost every single. It was really cool to see, because most of these fights, like a lot of the time, he's using like 1 or 2 or 3 attacks. Yeah. But he was going for one by one, man. He was like, it's like he knew the fighting game like combinations on the controller, and he was like hitting all the fucking sick ones. Like that's how it felt like. It was cool.
Dude, I just read on Mal that this movie aired as a double feature alongside Digimon Adventure Bokura no War Game, which is that Hosoda movie that it was like Summer Wars before Summer Wars.
Oh, is it the Digimon movie?
Hosoda did 2 of them. Hosoda did
so it wasn't the first
Digimon
one.
pilot, which has that like the kids and they grow up with the egg and stuff like that. There's the big fight at the end. Bokura no War Game takes place after Adventure 1, when like they're all in their separate places and there's a virus going around.
That's the Digimon.
Yeah, it's that Digimon one.
That's the one with the fucking Bare Naked Lady song at the beginning.
Well, in the localization, yes.
In the localization, that's what I've seen.
The Digimon the movie has it's a combination of the first of 3 OVAs actually. It's that first one.
Oh, really?
It's that first one. It's Bokura no War Game, and it's this one that takes place during like Adventure 2.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
I think after Adventure 2, because it has Terriermon in it.
Terriermon. Yeah, she was cute.
Yeah.
I watched it. That movie's hilarious. The English.
The original is pretty funny.
Amazing.
Impeccable soundtrack. No notes.
Impeccable soundtrack.
But that's so cool that it was in a double feature. What a banger double feature. I'd fucking watch that again.
That's sick, dude.
Wow.
As a kid, you're like chilling. You're like,
both
damn.
of those. Both of those. They don't know how good they have.
Yeah, they had it too good. They had it too good, to be honest. Fuck.
Yeah, we spoiled them. And
we spoiled them, man. Now what do we have, man?
Right. Now what do we have? Yeah, we have One Piece Film Red. We'll see.
That will be okay. The Stampede was pretty solid.
Stampede was fun. I have seen Stampede in
fun.
theaters. I saw it years ago. I saw it like when it came out in theaters.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I mentioned it on Piss Pirates, but
Stampede is sick. Yeah.
That guy Fred, who I talked about One Piece all the time with, who loved the first episode, yay.
Yeah, sick.
He took me to see Stampede in theaters because he wanted to go. and invited me, and I was like, yeah, sure. I've never seen any One Piece. Let's see how it goes. It'd be interesting. And so like you see like all the like that one is one
everyone.
where everyone's in it. It's like fucking Smash Ultimate.
No, it's fucking awesome,
like, it's
dude.
Everybody, and it's really cool in that way. Yeah.
Well, that's what makes it really fun. It's like
Definitely.
a mini Wano, but like even more characters somehow.
Oh yeah, and more and not as themed. Like it's very like
very
all the
very
lines
Japanese,
around-
like the
the
old
whole
school
theming around the kabuki theater stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was no. I liked Stampede a lot. A lot of the newer movies are pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Gold was okay.
Yeah.
A lot of the villain, like the way he has to defeat him is, I feel like it's like a combination of like Alabasta and Skypiea, but like some of the more boring parts from both, which is just kind of annoying. But there's still fun moments, and Film Z and Strong World are really good.
Okay.
Those ones
That's
are.
my first endorsement for Z specifically. I have heard good things about Strong World because that's like the Luffy Mafia, like like they're all in like fucking suits.
Yeah. Well, that one's also.
I fuck with
so,
that.
Most of them, to be honest, most of the One Piece movies are kind of just repeats of arcs. Like Strong World is basically just Arlong Park, but not as good. But it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Like the all the character designs, the costumes are really cool.
I'd say Baron Matsuri was pretty unique. It's a little like Thriller Bark, but
well, that one's like completely different. Like you can't even.
Oh yeah.
That one's out there.
I know it's its own thing. I'd say that, and then this one definitely feels like the first one feels like this would have been like 3 episodes in the anime.
Yeah, exactly.
As a side thing that they
would have been a nice little filler arc.
Yeah, but
I
really like it because it's widescreen. The
art,
the
so pretty.
Backgrounds are are so rich. Like they have a
shading.
lot of the shading is very like deeply colored and like very illustrated rocks. Like just the that sounds so dumb,
good.
but it's just like it's like a storybook almost, and it's just like so appealing to look at, especially with those character designs, the way it's animated and stuff. It's a great looking movie. Great movie. It's just a great movie.
It was a great movie, man. I was
all the sound effects and music are in it from the show, and they are used perfectly. It's like it's it's that track. Yeah, it's that track.
The song, I forget what it's called.
It's Odin, not Odin.
Gold to Odin, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's something golden.
That sad track it plays during the backstory.
All the sad moments. Right.
So good, perfect. No, it was really enjoyable. So go watch it, guys. If you like One Piece and you like having fun, if you like fun in your life, go watch it, dude. Like, it's crazy.
Right. What are you doing?
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Especially if you were like a One Piece fan, highly encourage it. It's a great time. Very much of a throwback. If you haven't, it's that thing where we said earlier of just like, if you're a One Piece fan and you feel like you're kind of stagnated and the current stuff isn't doing it for you, but you still really like One Piece a lot, it's like it's all there, man. It's still there.
Yeah,
and
it's on a silver platter, man.
You mentioned to me earlier that you were watching some One Piece. So you were
I was watching through because I started rewatching it a while ago.
Yeah.
And I made it to like just before the end of Baratier.
Okay.
So I finished that and I was watching through Arlong Park and I'm just like really enjoying it, man.
Yeah.
It was very refreshing just seeing the way it kind of flows between arcs like early on that I just misremember. Like a lot of the details that happen.
And they're very like isolated and standalone, where it's like all the elements that matter in that arc are present and are focused on. Whereas I have a suspicion with post Marineford specifically, where he's culminated everything and he's really embraced the wider lore, the wider scope of the series, and he's made it an active part, especially with the different crews now and everything. Like how many pieces he set up. I imagine with subsequent arcs with Fishman and Punk Hazard and et cetera, yes, there's still that standalone feeling because they're isolated on that island, but Oda now has to kind of think about the larger ramifications of everything.
Exactly.
He has to realize that Blackbeard's out there. You have to realize that, and it's easy for some characters because like Shanks, right? He's able to keep on the back burner this entire time, so that's no problem. You just put him on the side over there. But there's so many more characters that are a lot more active than Shanks, or are playing a more antagonistic role, perhaps, or just I don't know. I can imagine there's a source of tension
there's a
now
yeah,
the fans are like, okay, but when are you going to get back to that? Okay, but what about this thing that you haven't talked about in a while, right? Whereas there's no tension like that, especially in East Blue.
Oh yeah, it's way more just fun adventure. You're just not worrying about the politics of everything going on and all the different crews and all the people targeting each other. Right? It becomes like a entirely like I would argue like an almost different sort of series. Like it changes a lot.
Very fundamental. Yeah.
It very fundamental in a lot of ways, but it still has that same, it still has all the characters and everything, but it's a different world. Like it's a different world out there. Like
it's
in the
much
new
bigger.
World.
Yeah.
It is. It's much bigger in scope, and everything's kind of interconnected. Like all the each arc kind of plays into the next one. Like from the get go, it's kind of like very continuous.
It's as continuous as say Marineford with Sabity.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really. It's hard to say Sabity is its own arc because it ends so abruptly. And it's suddenly it's Amazon Lily. It's like, is this considered the same arc? Like, I guess not, because it's a different island.
Yeah.
Or it feels like its own self-contained thing. And then Amazon Lily again abruptly ends and goes straight into Impel Down. It's similar. It's not even the same as what it used to do, where with like East Blue or it's something. I think all of them are fairly isolated from each other. But then when you go from entering the Grand Line to Baroque Works to Drum Island to Alabasta, there's a loose connection. Like they still have Vivi, and there's like, oh, we're heading to this thing to probably do this, and that's what's on the horizon, and that's what makes Alabasta feel like such a culmination of sorts, and it's much longer and stuff. But Drum is still its own arc. Drum is still isolated. Oh, I forgot fucking Little Garden too.
Yeah, Little Garden.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's these little steps. They're isolated, but there's that like it doesn't have the same feeling as Syrup Island or Baratier or Arlong. Or even Loguetown.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's these isolated sort of adventures.
Here's the next step. But it's more like we're looking 3 steps ahead.
Oh, yeah. It's point. Like once you get past Fishman Island, everything is connected.
Yeah.
Every single arc.
Consistent.
It is like there is like a clear path forward, like where they're going.
Yeah.
Because they're grown up more, like they're more adult. There's a more serious situation that they have to go through.
Yeah, and also they've gone through such a traumatic event with each other, not with each other, but just like involving each other. The idea of splitting up like that, and they really get crushed and fail. Sorry if it's like spoilers. I figured this one. I think we can have a little lighter spoilers.
We can spoil.
I figured the first one. We have no spoilers in this one. But at the same time, I didn't want to like say stuff and get. I didn't think it was fair. Where I'd be like, yeah, let's talk about spoilers now and all like other stuff that's happening in Wano and stuff. But then like, I don't want to be spoiled on stuff that happens in Fishman or Dressrosa and shit. So I didn't think it was very fair of me to recommend that. But the failure with the crew, it definitely has to have a psychological effect on them. Where it's like, okay, we don't want that to happen again. We're no longer very carefree doing it. It's fun. It's so interesting that they didn't really get that message when they went through Water 7. I think it's because so much happened during Eni's lobby and they came together so well that I don't think they fully learned
that lesson
from Water 7. I think that just it kind of worked out that way, and
they grew a bit. They grew a bit.
They did. They definitely did. But it wasn't the reset. It wasn't like okay, we have to actually get our shit together, guys, or this could go a lot worse.
Yeah.
Like they got lucky with Water 7.
Oh, they got really lucky.
That certain things ended up the way they did, and
because all the characters are way more, I would say, a lot more mature. Maybe Luffy is still the same. You'll see, but it's like there's a clear difference in their characterization going forward. But I'm excited to see what you think. When do you plan on watching more?
I believe it was June 21st.
Okay.
When I was supposed to watch. Let me pull up my One Piece 1 year.
One Piece 1 year.
I called it the. That's the name of the document.
Oh, is that? You're gonna watch One Piece in 1 year? Is that?
Yeah. It's just
One Piece 1 year.
I just thought it was funny.
One Piece a year, baby.
Yeah. So Summit War 516, June 21st was when I was supposed to finish Summit War. So Fishman Island starts June 22nd. But because of the way, I'll probably talk with my roommate about this, who's watching it with me. Since we really enjoy that Saturday is a new 21 episodes type of deal, I'll probably look at precisely when, and then we can be like, maybe the 18th, which is like the Saturday before the 21st, is when a new batch, that whole week, that would make sense. Like this whole week of episodes from the 19th to 25th is now open to us. So that's another 9 episodes we can watch starting on the 18th.
All down.
And then the 25th we can do another 21 episodes.
True. I want to hear your thoughts, because I think it's when the anime kind of changes a bit.
Oh, sure. There's time skip and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, fuck. Well, thank you guys for listening to Piss Pirates episode 2.
Fucking nailed that, dude. I'm so happy.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
2 hours.
Yeah, guys, subscribe,
please.
Yeah,
share this around.
Share it around.
I really
if you
enjoyed
like One
this.
Piece.
I certainly really enjoyed this.
Yeah, man.
It's good motivation for us too, because we don't know how long this will go, and seeing other people enjoy it really motivates us to continue talking together.
Yeah, we really appreciate.
Not like we never afterwards, but like, sorry we didn't go too. Not sorry, I guess, but like we didn't go too hard into like fandom and stuff of just like getting pissed at people. Hey, but that's fair.
It's not gonna be every episode.
It's also a lot of the same stuff, like Sanji slander and
all the fucking bullshit,
all that shit.
Man,
but it's always it's probably been the same bullshit for years.
It's always the same.
So probably be annoying to
keep.
It's like no, we've already. It's like we've already said everything that needs to be said. Yeah,
maybe. Well, we'll have to see. There's gonna be more controversy.
Maybe there's new low.
There will
perhaps,
be. There will be, and we appreciate all the support on the first episode. There's a lot of nice comments. But yeah, we're gonna keep going. See where it fucking goes from here. See if Shabes ends up hating One Piece.
Yeah, I'm not quite getting something happened with my audio, but
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay.
I agree with what you said. Whatever you said.
I don't think you did, but
I hope it wasn't anything.
I don't think you did, but
okay, yeah, I did it. You're right. Haha. Bye.
Bye, guys.